Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the campus of UNCW and the Nixon Annex on another memorable day in UNCW athletics. Before we begin, I'm like, is the Chancellor here? I thought I saw him come in. I'd like to thank Chancellor Aswani Valetti for being here and joining us for today's announcement. As most of you know, our women's basketball program has a new leader, head coach Nicole Woods. I'm sure she's had a few sleepless nights over the last few nights over this, trying to decide what to say, but we're looking forward to hearing from her today. A native of Gastonia, Coach Woods is widely recognized for her on-the-court and recruiting capabilities, most recently as associate head coach at Charlotte. Coach Woods has served 10 years on the staff of Charlotte. Over the last 6 seasons, she has been recruiting coordinator for the 49ers, helping Charlotte achieve 4 WNIT berths and 1 NCAA tournament appearance. In 2022, the 49ers captured the 2022 Conference USA Championship. Overall, Charlotte has racked up 5 winning seasons and 4 20-win campaigns during Woods' time in the Queen City. With Woods on the staff, the 49ers recorded a Conference USA winning percentage of 500 or better in 9 straight seasons from 2013 to 22. She capped that with a 15-3 conference mark in the 22 championship season. Coach Woods also worked as an assistant coach and recruiting coordinator at Stetson from 2011 to 2013, after beginning her coaching career as a grad assistant at SIU Carbondale in 2009. Coach Woods earned degrees in accounting and business management at Belmont Abbey outside of Charlotte and graduated in 2006 as the school's 4th all-time leading scorer with 1,641 points. She also had 676 assists in 2005-06, and that's still a school record. Coach Woods was inducted into the Gaston Sports Hall of Fame in 2022. She played professionally in England for the Nottingham Wildcats in 2007-08, and she led that team in assists and ranked 2nd in scoring. At this time, I'd like to call on Athletic Director Michael Oblinger to come to the podium for some remarks.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for being here on a very exciting day, one that I'll certainly remember for a very, very long time. A couple thank yous here and welcomes. Thank you, Chancellor Valetti, for being here. Players, we have our players here, former players, community members, university friends and donors, and obviously the Woods family. Thank you all so much for being here on this day. One more thank you here before we move on to Coach. I want to say thank you to Tina Martin and her staff. About a year ago, we asked her to step in and really stabilize the program, and she did. Her, Alex, and Asia really with both feet and really took control of a program that had been through several years of trauma there. So thank you to Coach Martin. But today obviously is about the future of women's basketball and something that to me is very, very important. Coming from 2 previous institutions that valued and resourced women's basketball, is very, very important to me that we hit the ground running here with this hire. The process really for me started in December. And what I mean by that is when I first thought about coming here as the athletic director and realizing that we had a women's head coach in the interim, and really when the timeline for me to be hired, we need to hit the ground running. And so really my research started really into that late December, early January. I really started asking questions in terms of my peers in the Southeast, people in the women's basketball community, and Nicole's name just kept coming up over and over again as that someone that should get a look for this job. I remembered I guess it might have been late December, I was home in the house watching a Charlotte game. I think I was streaming on my iPad, and Liz comes in and says, "What are you doing watching a Charlotte 49ers game?" And it was watching her coach. And so really the process for me began even before I got the job here as the athletic director. Something that was very obvious to me and Tiffany Tucker here in the back, who chaired our search, after speaking with the team, some things that kind of resonated with them over and over again in terms of the qualities of their next head coach. And really, it stood out to us as we were interviewing Coach as someone who was a champion of the student-athlete experience, who had played the game and played it at the highest level, who has a recruiting background, who has ties to North Carolina, has ties to the region, accountability that came up over and over again from each of the young ladies, that they want to be held accountable and they want to win at the highest level. As we went through the recruiting process and the interview process, those traits are clear with Coach Woods, and we're so excited to have her here today. I feel confident in the way we found our coach. Someone who wants to win at the highest level, is a champion of the student-athlete experience, a proven winner, and now more importantly, she's now a Seahawk. So Coach, come on up here. The 12th coach of women's basketball at UNCW.
Hat. All right. All right, is this thing on? Can I get a Hulk yeah? There we go. That's more like it. Before I get going, my mother's not here today. She was a little ill and wasn't able to make it. But I can tell you a couple of things. She's happy that I'm wearing color today. She says I need to wear more color. I wear too much black, and so Mom, here's the color for you. And I wanted to say something about this color. I purchased my house in Charlotte, North Carolina about 6 years ago, and it was a light yellow house, and it had these ugly black shutters on it. And I said, I love the beach. I'm a beach girl. I've always loved the water. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make this my beach house until I can get a beach house. And so I painted my shutters. Guess what color I painted my shutters, y'all? This color blue, this teal. And I was in the shower yesterday getting ready for church, and it just kind of came full circle that, you can speak things into existence, having no clue that I would be standing here today. So, Mom, here's the color for you. And I guess, God, this is you telling me this is where I was supposed to be all along. First, I want to give honor to God, for He is the head of my life, and without Him, I would not be here today. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life, but He's continued to steer me in the right direction, and I don't move unless He tells me to move. It has to be almost like a billboard with neon blinking lights for me to be able to move and do different things, and so I want to thank Him for that. Chancellor Valetti, thank you as well for being here. Mike, I texted him earlier, and I do not take it for granted that I'm his first hire. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, and I told him I'm not going to let him down. And I thank him for for his vision that he has for our program and for the athletics department. Tiffany Tucker as well. She doesn't know this yet how big of a fan of hers I am. I grew up a Tar Heel fan, and I watched her for years. And so when I first got the call, I had a little fangirl going on. So I can say that publicly, y'all. She was something. I'm just telling you, she was something. So thank you, Tiffany, for that. My family, I've got my family here. Wave your hands. My family has always been my rock. Yep. A lot of who I am, from my mother, as I said, who's not here, my sisters who weren't able to make it as well, my father here, my grandparents. I grew up in Gastonia, but I spent every summer in Reedsville, North Carolina. Anybody know about Reedsville, North Carolina? Oh, yeah. People are looking at me like this. Reedsville? Yep, and we worked hard. We're going to leave it like that. We worked hard, and that work ethic. I remember the Cadillac would pull up. It was my grandparents coming to get us for the summer, and I would cry because I knew I was getting ready to work as hard as I ever worked in my life. But I appreciate it today. And so thank you to my family, my church family, Pleasant Ridge AME Zion Church, Gastonia, North Carolina. early on when I was a kid. I had to stand up in Easter plays and Christmas plays, things of that nature. I was a Boys and Girls Club kid growing up. So a lot of people would be nervous right here. But I've been speaking in front of people since I can remember. You had to memorize what you were going to say. You couldn't read from a paper. So I want to thank them for growing me and nurturing me as a person. My Niner Nation family, they were not able to make it as well. They had a recruit on campus, but I know you all are watching or will go back and watch. Thank you for the last 10 years, shaping and molding me into who I am today. For years, I never thought that I would leave Charlotte. But again, at this point in time, I knew it was time for me to go. They helped me every step of the way. To all of my players, my former players that I've had the opportunity to coach, thank you for all the lessons that you've taught me. I hope that I will have taught you, one or two things along the way as well. To my new team, y'all stand up. Yeah! They make me look short. Look at them. I like it. I like it. I like it. I will talk a little. Y'all can have a seat. I will talk a little bit more about them later, but words can't express how excited I am to be your head coach. They told me they want consistency, and I promised them that I would treat them for who they are, not what they do. And I will always do that. I'm going to always love on them. I'm going to push them now. I'm going to push them, but I'm going to always love on them and pour into them. So thank you all for having me. I wanted to start and talk about, during my coaching career, I've had two coaches that I've had the privilege of working for. First of all, thank you to Missy Tiber. She was my coach at Belmont Abbey my first 3 years, and she gave me my first coaching opportunity as a graduate assistant at SIU Carbondale. So thank you, Coach Tiber, for that. But as an assistant coach, I worked for Lynn Bria and Kara Consuegra. And I just want to talk a little bit about each of them. Lynn Bria is the current head coach at Stetson University, and she is one of the hardest workers I've ever met in my life. And she taught me how to be just a downright recruiter. She said, Woodsy, that's what she calls me. Woodsy, you got to get them. You got to get them. You got to get them right here for me, and then I'm going to come in and close them. And she taught me how to do that. And so I got my recruiting nature from her. And then Coach Kara Consuegra, over the last 10 years, she taught me how to be an elite scouter in terms of the X's and O's of the game, as well as an elite manager of people. She gave me a lot of responsibility early, and she must have known something I didn't know at the time. But those two people, when you think of leadership, I think of them. When I think of winners, I think of them. And I thank you for all of the time that you poured into me over these last 12 years. So they're not here, but please, let's give them a hand. All right, I think that's all of my thank yous. I promise I'm not going to be before you long. I want to talk about what it means to be a coach. I said this to my team when I met with them in this very room. I learned early on in my coaching career the true definition of a coach, and it came from Mr. Adrian Walters, who's now an assistant coach at UNC Chapel Hill. I sat in a round table that he did back in, I think this was 2009, and he asked us what the definition of a coach was. And we all said our different things, and he said, well, let me give you an analogy. He said, if you get on a train car, what's another name for a train car? We said a coach. He said, if you get on a bus, what's another name for a bus? It's a coach, right? He said, you get on an airplane, you fly first class or you fly coach. And we said, man, I saw an eye, like, yeah, that's right. That's how I did the same thing. And he said, well, tell me what all of those things have in common. Transportation. They transportation. They transport people from one place to another. And that's my ultimate job as a coach, to take these young ladies as 17, 18, 19-year-old girls when they get here and transport them to 21, 22-year-old girls, 21, 22-year-old women that are going to be productive citizens for this community. And that's my entire goal. I would like to say my superpower is relationships. Relationships matter. Every job I've ever gotten, almost every recruit I've ever gotten came from some type of relationship. Thank you to all of y'all. I still have about 250 text messages that I haven't got to, and I haven't gotten to any of the social media posts. But the ones that I have seen, they talk about the relationships, and that's what I want to be known for when I leave this world. At your funeral, what do you want people to say about you? And I want them to talk about the relationships. I want to get invited to weddings. I want to be the person who they come into my office and talk to when they're having a bad day. I purposely moved my office to be right beside the locker room. Some of them found this out today. When you come past the locker room, what do you have to do? Say hello. Come into the office. You're not going to dodge me. You're not going to dodge me. We are going to build those relationships. And I told them, I can promise you that I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be committed to them. I'm going to push them. I'm going to help them get wherever they want to go in life. And we are going to win some basketball games in the process. There we go. Now, my daddy will tell you, I was a bad loser, y'all. I'm telling you what. Cry. You talking about cry, and I'm not just talking about sports. I'm saying if I was racing from here to the end of that door and I lost, just busting out crying, just a bad loser. And I was taught early on about winning in life. You either win or you lose. It's just that simple. And so winning is a posture. I talk a lot about my 6 P's of progress that are going to be the core values for our program. And one of those P's is posture, because you either win or you lose. And we're going to compete. We're going to foster an environment of competition. We're going to fight in everything we do, because I feel like if you believe that you're a winner, you're going to win in the classroom, you're going to win on the court, and you're going to win in the community. And those are some things that are going to characterize who we're going to be as a team. We're going to defend and we're going to rebound. We're going to have fun. We're going to score some points. And I believe in sharing the wealth. We're going to have a balanced scoring team. And everybody wants to know, well, what type of offense are you going to run? What type of defense are you going to run? Well, y'all are just going to have to come and see that. You're going to have to come and see that, because these young ladies deserve to have some butts in the seat to watch them play. During COVID, it was just terrible. Nobody could come to watch. And I remember after that saying, I am going to do my best to make sure that my players have people in the seats to watch them play. Our first game after COVID that we had was against the Tar Heels. And I said, we're going to get 49 teams throughout the community to come and watch them play. I think we ended up having 75 teams. And it was an environment like no other. I want you to come. I don't want just you to come. I want you to bring somebody. We are going to be fun to watch. We're going to be exciting. We are going to be something that you want your little daughter or your granddaughter to see and be a part of. The last thing I want to say is this. I received a text message, or actually it was a Facebook message on my way here. And I told you all I hadn't really been doing the social media because of the influx. And when I left going to Carbondale, Illinois in 2009, I left my stuff in a certain place. And long story short, it ended up going missing. A lot of my things, all of my memorabilia from Belmont Abbey, my jersey, my CVAC Player of the Year jersey, everything was gone. It's been gone since 2009. So with all the publicity that's going around right now with me getting the job, I got a message. And the message said, hey, my name's Alan Robinson. I actually moved into the house that your jersey was in back in 2009. And I've been trying to find you all of this time to be able to return this jersey to you. And I mean, I couldn't help but crying. Y'all gonna see my pictures from my Photoshop. My eyes are probably glazy because I had been crying all morning. I just could not even believe that on this very day, on the day that I'm doing this press conference, I'm moving, I'm able to start this next part of my journey, that he found me. See, I didn't go find him, he found me. And I want to say this to our players, that your calling will always find you. It doesn't matter how much you try to hide from it. Whatever you're supposed to do is going to find you. My calling in life has always been to help people. And clearly I'm meant to be here because that is a neon light that I'm doing the right thing. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I would not want to be anywhere else than right here. So can I get a Hulk yeah? Hulk yeah! Thank you.
Now, Coach, you said that when you left Charlotte, you sold your house with teal shutters. So I want you to let you know that teal travels,
It travels.
So we expect those teal shutters to be here in Wilmington, too. So at this time, we'll ask the local media if we have any questions. Coach Woods will be glad to field those at this time. Please identify yourself and the affiliation you're with.
Okay. Hey, I'm Michael Cuneo with the Wilmington Star News. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First off, can you just tell us what this process was like with the hiring process and what hooked you on UNCW?
Oh, that's really easy. First of all, I remember when I got the first contact about the job. And I said, okay, yeah, I'd love to do a Zoom. I said, how many folks are y'all Zooming? Oh, 11. 11? I'm thinking, gosh, that's a lot of people. I feel bad for Tiffany and Mike, all that they had to do with those. But I can tell you, the first conversation I had with them, I felt like I was at home. I felt like I was talking to some people, almost like a family reunion that I just hadn't talked to in a long time. And they really hooked me on the vision for what they wanted Wilmington basketball to be. And the more I talked to them, the more things just started to align. They started talking about things that I had already put down as goals for myself, core values and things of that nature. I promised myself that I would never chase money, money would chase me, and I would never do anything outside of things that align with who I am as a person. And I just felt through the process with Tiffany as well as Mike, they get it. They get it, and I believe that it starts from the top down, and we've got the best of the best here at Wilmington.
This program undoubtedly has struggled over the years. What did you see foundationally that made you think you can turn the tides and create a winning team?
Well, I like to think I'm a pretty decent recruiter, and half of the team I actually recruited on the front end of things. And so I knew we had some players here already. I knew we had some players, and I said this to them. I said, you all should have won more than 5 games last year. I don't know why you didn't, but you should have based off of the talent. And so I really felt like we had a good core of people here in terms of who they were as people. As I said, I already knew some of them, and as basketball players as well. So now we're going to build upon that. We're going to get some structure, some discipline in some different areas, and I think that we're going to be able to, I like to under-promise and over-deliver. So you're just going to have to see.
Hey, Coach Woods. My name is Jake Eichstead. I work for WWAY.
Hey, Jake.
We've heard a lot about you as a recruiter. You obviously were a big-time player as well, and just from the few minutes that I've heard you speak, you got a lot of charisma, too. A lot of these factors factor into something like recruiting. What do you think it is that separates you from, maybe some other coaches, and why you feel you excel in that area?
I think it's simple. I'm very authentic, and as I said, relationships are my superpower. And I just feel like, in general, when people know that you care, they just kind of open up a little bit more. And I've been genuine about building relationships with people. One of the first things that I tell recruits when I talk to them is that I want you to do what's best for you, whether it's here with us at Wilmington or not. You need to get this right. These are supposed to be the best times of your life. You need to get it right. And I'm just honest. I'm honest, and I care about people. I really do. I feel like when they operate within the best version of themselves, it's better for everybody. And so I'm genuine about getting to know people, getting to know the people around the people. I say the references behind the references, and just being honest and transparent with them and loving on them. That's the best I got. You think I got some charisma? I like that.
I can tell.
I like you.
And when it comes to on the court product, I know you said, we're going to have to wait and see what
Yep.
it looks like. But as much as you want to divulge, what your plan is, especially for, this next year and this upcoming team that's going to be on the floor, I imagine you guys are probably going to be practicing coming up pretty soon.
We are going to be practicing coming up really soon. They actually had practice today. My first official day is not until Wednesday, so I'm not allowed to practice with them right now, but I have watched a good bit of film. What I can tell you to do is we're going to play hard. We're going to play defense. We're going to rebound. And I told them I like to score points, and so I would like to be able to get up and down the court to be able to score. But I also told them, look, I'm going to evaluate and I'm going to assess, and we're going to do whatever I feel like you all can do best. There's no point in me coming in here and saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, and we might not have the personnel to be able to do that. And so we're going to, as I said, assess as we continue to go throughout practice. I'm still compiling a coaching staff. I'm sure that's going to be a question coming up, and we're going to put them in the best case scenario to be successful.
Welcome to Wilmington, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bailey Swagger from the Seahawk.
Hey, Bailey.
When you first got here down to Wilmington, can you talk about your first impression on this group right here and on the community and the university?
Absolutely. Well, they're very welcoming. They were very welcoming. We've already met and had some individual meetings and talked about some things, and I just think that they're hungry. They're hungry, they're ready to do whatever we need to do to win. And half of the battle a lot of time is being able to follow the leader, right? Being able to see a vision and to be able to follow it through. And so we've talked a little bit about our 6 Ps, what it's going to take for us to be good people as well as good basketball players. And we're going to work on those things once I get to work with them. In terms of the community, I've been here. I came up last weekend just to kind of, take a look at the area, and I've been here for a few days now. And I told you I love the beach, so I'm definitely happy about that. But everybody's been friendly. Everybody's been extremely friendly. It's a place that I definitely can see myself calling home for a long time, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you saying that's something you're excited about. My other question was just, what's the thing that you're most excited about for being the head basketball coach here?
Man, I get to be my own boss, I don't even, every now and again I've been like getting ready to call Coach Kara about something. I'm like, I don't have to call her no more, But no, seriously, I'm really excited about seeing where our players are now and getting to work with them to help develop them where I know they can go. And that's something that really gets me going. As I said, I'm a people person. I'm one of those social butterfly people. But I also love the relationship aspect of it and the development aspect of it. And so I'm excited about sitting down talking to them about not just what their goals are basketball-wise, but what they want to do in their lives outside of basketball and being able to help them get where they want to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
That wasn't too bad. Good job, y'all.
She thinks it's over. It's not. We're going to have a few questions afterward, I'm sure, and Coach Woods and Mr. Oblinger will be around to answer questions afterward, one-on-ones. So I think you all can see why we're so very excited about our women's basketball program today. One last round of applause and welcome for Coach Nicole Woods. Thank you all so much for coming, and please come up and introduce yourself. We'll be around for a little while up here. Thank you.